So you see this photo right here? Oh, it's just a picture of Dan Lok. Actually, hey Google, zoom in. Hey Google, zoom in 300%. Hey Google, do face detection. That itself is Jake Tran.
A lot of people go into it thinking that, if I just put out content, if I just stay consistent, then I'll just eventually blow up.
So the past 2 years, this YouTuber has seemingly known to blown up. Even people like Andrew Schulz has been talking about him.
Videos, just me in front of a camera explaining stuff.
Like OnlyFans? What?
He describes himself as someone who makes premium documentaries about war, crime, and power.
These video essays, or you were doing it in a way?
Yeah, I'll explain. So, basically the elevator pitch for my channel is I run one of the biggest channels for documentaries on money, power, and crime.
But just like everything, all you ever see is the front-facing picture. You actually never know the actual origins, except for what they tell you on camera. So Jake Tran in this interview says that he's been trying YouTube for the past 4 years until he finally struck gold and decided to niche in the topic of war, crime, and business and power documentaries. He plays off the fact of fair usage, where he makes commentaries on the sort of film like taking clips from famous movies, any sort of B-roll, and having a voiceover talking about things like politics, controversial topics, as well as how businesses can get away with making more money and power.
Who wouldn't like these videos? Wow, this is insanely evil. Wow, this dude is evil. This is absolutely evil.
But this was not always the case. Jake himself was initially an aspiring YouTuber, watching people just kidding films and as all these other internet gurus.
It was always my dream to be a YouTuber. I actually watched you guys in like middle school and early high school. I had to do a bunch of tries. So my first try was a Taekwondo channel because I did that in high school. Didn't work out, so I gave up, went the traditional route, became a web developer, got bored really fast once I got the job I wanted, so I went back into YouTube.
So most people don't know that Jake Tran actually started within the HTC Club. That is the high ticket closer. He was initially a closer, a salesperson that bought into the hype of Dan Lok. And we all know the story behind Dan Lok.
You're coming to me because you want to charge more money and charge what you believe you're worth and have more, just make more profit, correct?
Yeah.
And how would you feel if you come to me, the king of high ticket sales, Dan Lok, and we start our relationship by me giving you a discount?
From there, he found a couple of his own teammates within the HTC Club, and they started their own closing agency, because that's what most people do when they sign up for HTC. They all become high ticket closers. From there on, he may have or may not have been clients with these other bigger influencers. As you can see through his own YouTube and his own page, hey, there's Jason Capital. Hey, there's Graham Stephan. What itself does Jason Capital have to do with anything? Well, he actually worked with Dan Lok. You see, in the social media influencer game, it is a very small world, and you would be surprised how many deep pockets these other influencers are connected with. And from there, he started selling his own lifestyle academy, essentially a course teaching people how to live that nomadic life. From his closing agency, in combination with selling this course, it's what all his aspiring gurus and idols that he looked up to were doing. Living the life, selling on Amazon, right? Or, being an influencer. But somewhere along the lines, he pivoted. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe it was a lot harder than he initially expected. And all he wanted to do was become a YouTuber. From there on, he took Graham Stephan's YouTube Academy course. Because if you don't know, Graham Stephan has an actual YouTube course. And if you go on this course, you can actually scroll down. I'm like, hey, look who it is. It's Jake Tran. And the funny thing about this is that there's actually 2 student testimonials. One is he tried to replicate Graham Stephan by doing the exact same thing, Finance 101.
To make this testimonial, I just believe in this course and in this man that much. So let's get straight into it. My channel is on track right now to hit 1,000 subscribers within the next 15 days, 30 days at max. And a lot of that has to do with me taking this course.
But as you can see right underneath that, there is Jake Tran celebrating the fact that he hit his first 100,000 subscribers. When Jake initially took the course, he was trying to find his own content niche and what worked. He first pretty much copied Graham Stephan's own exact same style, from the content to how he presented himself. And then from there, he eventually figured out, hey, I can't copy someone, but if I'm gonna copy someone, I'm gonna do something and bring something new to the table. So him being a fanatic of all these other YouTube videos that put together compilations and have voiceovers, he was like, hey, why don't I do this with things like power, war, and crime? And that's exactly what he did.
Nestle operates in 190 countries, employs almost 300,000 people, and has 376 factories worldwide.
What eventually went wrong? So when it comes to having these types of insider secrets, what that does, it is unlifting the veil. It creates a sense of trust where, hey, I'm gonna show you the secrets of this person and how this business runs. So from there on, it makes you, one, it's very engaging, it's entertaining, and two, you trust me. It is a smoke and mirror effect where I give you a sense of secrecy, right? I give you a little into the know-how, and from there you can start trusting me and my content, because I will show you all the secrets of how people expose other people. The video itself, we're doing great until sponsorships, where there isn't a sense of due diligence. It was the point where, hey, I'm gonna make a video about why crypto betting is very bad, and guess what? In the video itself, I'm gonna sell you a sponsored crypto betting app. Even from the app itself, other people have talked about this, like CoffeeZilla, where it's like, hey, I made 3% returns. But as you can see, there were no transactions made at all. And that 3% return was actually the fluctuation of Bitcoin price itself.
Set up what's called their grid trading bot 11 days ago, give it $1,000 to trade with, and I'm already up 3% on it.
Actually never traded a single transaction. It says this on his screen. There are 0 transactions in these 11 days he shows, meaning that what he thought was a 3% gain from a trading bot was likely just Bitcoin going up by 3%.
The scalability of his YouTube channel is actually quite ingenious, where he himself doesn't even narrate the video anymore. You have bumpers where he talks about the intro, the outro, and in the middle is actually a hired voiceover artist. The thing about this is that he is hiring on places like LinkedIn, Indeed, wherever, and the scary thing about these contracts is there's a no-compete clause, and the fact that you cannot compete with anybody in making use of your voice for 2 years. When you systematize and automate your own YouTube channel, what you're doing is you're taking away the whole YouTube presence. You yourself are not even writing the scripts anymore. You find someone else, you pay them, you pay a video editor, you do the little intros and outros, and boom, there you go. You have another 300,000 views. On top of sponsors, anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 to $70,000 just on that video alone, or in AdSense revenue. So when it comes to the fame and fortune, Jake did exactly what he wanted to do. Live that laptop lifestyle. But what's next? I don't know. With great power comes great responsibility. Now there is an undermining of your own audience. The audience that made you, the people that watch your videos, are starting to question your own credibility.
Subs, like almost immediately I felt like this like emptiness and not having something to strive for, because that was the goal for so long.
Yeah, yeah. After achievements, oftentimes it's followed by a little bit of sadness or depression. Yeah.
He likes to refer to Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. And I'm going to read you law number 47. Do not go past the mark you aim for. In victory, learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal, and when you reach it, stop. At the end of the day, what you can actually learn from this is when you try to play this YouTube game, you have to be careful with it. You have to bring something new to the table, right? You can't just be a Mr. Beast. You have to bring something new, which Jake exactly did that. But what's next? Who knows? You can only watch and tell. And honestly, when people hate, and especially I see another Asian brother do it, maybe there's a sense of jealousy. Maybe it's like, man, he's killing it, man. Good for him. 24, 25-year-old. I'm like, if he can do it, why can't I? That was my video on the one and only Jake Tran. If you want to see who I want to talk about next, leave a comment in the description below. And maybe I start using this power. No, I'm not.